When you open Visual Paradigm, you should see a screen that looks similar to this. If you don't, then it could be that you didn't close Visual Paradigm after the last video. If that is the case, please close Visual Paradigm at this point and then reopen it. Once it's reopened, you should see this screen. It shows our current project, TTT analysis, both top and bottom. And you'll see on the side, we have a blank area that says no model elements or diagrams. The nice thing about Visual Paradigm is that this is a case tool. That means you can track a project from the beginning analysis all the way through to deployment. In order for us to be able to better understand the project that we're on, we should have a name that makes some sense. Chances are you may have several projects running at the same time, and a name such as TTT analysis doesn't really tell you very much about the project. So the first thing we're going to do is rename our project. To do so, right-click the name and select Rename. Now we'll type in Tommy's Tummy Trucks and click OK. You now see that the name has been changed in both the top area and in our work area. Select the Project tab and click on Save to make sure that we don't lose any of our changes. The next thing we want to do is we want to actually create a model. To do so, we right-click the Tommy's Tummy Trucks, and we can see that we have several things that we can add here. We want to add a particular model. We can create a blank model, or we can actually create a model that has a specific purpose: analysis, design, implementation, or deployment. We're going to select an analysis model. You'll notice it now adds the analysis model underneath Tommy's Tummy Trucks, and we have a new symbol here. It says Add a New Diagram. So we're going to click on Add New Diagram, and we're going to choose the Entity Relationship Diagram because we want to create our first conceptual model ERD. Click Next, and it asks us for a diagram name. And so we're going to simply call this the conceptual model. And again, we can add extra details here for a description if we choose to do so. Because this is going to be our only conceptual model that we're dealing with at the moment, we'll leave the description blank for the time being and simply click OK. You'll notice that we now have a bunch of symbols down the left-hand side. But more importantly, we see that over here on the right, it says Data Model, and there's 3 types of data models shown. We're going to click on the conceptual model. What this does is it indicates to our diagramming tool that the items that we're going to create are for a conceptual model, and it knows the rules for conceptual models, and it'll make sure that we follow those rules. So we will begin by adding some entities to our diagram. This is our entity right here. Click it, and then click on the screen. It has a default name of entity, which you immediately want to change. We're going to make this one employee. Remember to make it capitalized. Clicking off of it, we can now see that we can actually move this anywhere around on the screen that we choose. Add another entity. This one will be truck. Again, capitalized. Click off of it, and we now see our first two entities. Now down here we have a bunch of connectors. We have many-to-many, one-to-many, and one-to-one relationships. We know that an employee can work on many trucks, and that a truck can have many different employees working at any one time, because the staffing is such that it's a first-come, first-served basis. Not the same people work on the same truck every day. So we have a many-to-many relationship. Click on the many-to-many relationship. Click on our employee and hold your left mouse button down. Drag over to truck and let it go. It automatically creates for us a many-to-many relationship. And the cursor is currently in a small space, allowing us to define a verb, in other words, to describe this relationship. So we're going to use work, meaning an employee can work on many trucks, and a truck is worked by many employees. Our relationship, as you can see, is a zero or many on both sides. Now we can change this if we need to, but let's give it a thought. Can a truck exist without any employees? Yes. That means from truck to employee, it is a zero to many relationship. Can an employee exist in our company without being assigned to a truck? Well, I should hope so. Or it means that we can't have a list of employees more than the number we needed for our trucks. So out goes the window for any part-time employees. They will all have to become full-time employees in order to be able to have that relationship work. So once again, it is a zero or many relationship. So that is why we are not going to make any changes to this one at this time. Come up to your project and save it. Do not close Paradigm, because we'll be coming back to this shortly. But for the time being, return to the material in the book.